Well, good evening, dear ones. It's Robert Brzezinski with you again. Evening prayers for the 8th of April, 2020. And I've got a new friend of mine, Joe Witherow, with me here. I'll introduce him in a minute, but I did want to say hello
Oh, we
also
froze.
to all the people out there on that are watching this on a recording, because the recording is where you see it first. You'll see all this stuff, and then about now it's picking up with Facebook Live. So we had
I'm
Joe's
back.
coming back in now, so welcome back. All right, evening prayers. This all started, folks, as an opportunity just because I needed to pray more and realized there are a lot of friends and colleagues that I hadn't prayed with in a while. I wanted to pray with them more, and that just keeps expanding and growing. So tonight, I'm happy to introduce you to a relatively new friend of mine, Joe Witherow. Joe's in the professional practitioner training at Mile High Church right now, so he doesn't get any letters behind his name or any letters in front of his name just yet. That'll happen down the road. But Joe, welcome to the program.
Thank you, my brother. Glad to be here.
Yeah, good to have you. So, um, all right. So the idea is that we've got a little bit of time here, and we're going to get a chance to pray together. And I want you to remember that if you are in desire of prayer at this point in your life, if there's something you would like to heavy on your heart, by all means, please reach out. Send me an email, RevBriz at Spirit Involving. I can get your prayer right here in this prayer book. I tell you, I pray on this thing day and night. So I'd love to put your requests in there as well. And if you'd like to join in on the show one night or one morning, please do. We're here at 8:15 Mountain in the AM and 8:15 Mountain in the PM. So you trust you can all do the math on that. But all right. Well, let's get ourselves started here tonight. Joe, I'm so grateful you're with us. I ask pretty much everybody the same thing. Yes, we're going through what we're going through, and what I really am interested in is what's in your heart. What are your prayers in this time?
I think the main thing in my heart is still to see the light, even no matter where the news goes right now, to kind of keep my head away from the fray. And, part of the big test in life is seeing light when others cannot see the light in people. And I think that's a really, really strong characteristic of being a practitioner and a minister is being able to see that God's light in everybody, even when they are not seeing it. So I think that's really kind of been what's been weighing on my heart is just this overall need to even where people who are not well necessarily well liked or have the best image, just to see that God's image of light in them no matter what, and be able to share that as well throughout the greater whole here. I think we need to really stress coming together, no matter what background we're coming from right now more than ever.
Yeah, I agree. And I'll tell you, it's we're here on Facebook and YouTube for everybody on YouTube, but on Facebook it's real easy to just throw out accusations. People throw out all kinds of mean, nasty, ugly stuff all the time, it seems. And it's real easy to get pulled away from recognizing that light, recognizing that oneness. So I think it's a great part of the practice to turn back to that and find a way to come back and say, wait a minute, even though I might disagree with you on something here, you're still a divine expression of the one.
Mm.
And I need to be able to see that. So good. Thank you for that reminder this evening. So here's how the game is played, folks. Most of you know what we're about to do. It's called Share a Prayer. And I'm going to get Joe to get us started. He'll move into prayer consciousness, and where he'll just go until Spirit kind of says, "Okay, you're done," and gives him that little inner nudge to say you're complete. And he'll pass the prayer over to me. I'll pick it up and finish it, and then we'll say our good nights. So, when you're ready, sir, please take us away.
Mm. Thank you, my brother. So I just invite everybody that's watching, whether they're watching this in person or watching recording, I just ask you just to focus on your breath right now. The hustle and bustle of the day, traffic, the news, everything that is around you that has this energy. I just ask you just to push it aside for just a second and focus on the breath. As we breathe in this energy that surrounds us, the air that we breathe, the air that leaves when we take a breath out, it's all this divine spirit, known as a divine, known as God. It does not matter what it's called here. It's everywhere. There's not one spot where God is, that where God is not at. And as I sit here in this prayer here, I just think about all these beautiful things that I've seen in my presence today, from the acts of volunteerism to the divine light that I see, the beautiful aspects of Mother Nature that are being shown right now. These are all aspects of the divine. And this perfection that exists in these images that I see, I also exist in my mind and in the mind of everybody that is on this call, that is in this prayer, that is in this divine energy, that is in as a light worker, energy worker, healthcare professional, for all this divine energy that fills them with this perfect perfection that allows them to exist and manifest and just do this beautiful work right now. And I know this perfection that exists in them, this love that exists in them, also exists in my mind, exists in everybody else's mind that is on this call as well. And I know that as I say these words, I know that this divine, these events that have happened are happening in perfect harmony here, and that where we are at as a collective whole is in line on this pursuit to get closer to the spirit world, to God. And as I say these words here, I just know that each step that is taken, whether small or large, is on this path to God. I feel like this is a great place to let Reverend Robert continue here.
Mm. And so I feel that vibration. I feel that vibration of harmony and wholeness this evening. I feel that vibration of love that is God's light radiating out into the cosmos, into my heart, into the hearts of each one that hear these words. I can sense the divine flow of creative action. For what I know is I know that the ultimate of God is the creative expression. And so I recognize this thing called God that is forever taking on form and abandoning that form so that it may take on new form. I recognize that vibration, that power, moving and breathing as all life. And I feel it in this moment. For this is a moment of affirmation, a moment and a time in the vast structure of our lives. It is but a fleeting moment, but it is the perfect moment to do the work. It is the divine moment to do the work of knowing, of coming to a sense of knowing deeply in consciousness that all is well, that God's got this, that there is a divine plan that is unfolding, a divine vision that is revealing itself. This is that moment. The moment to stand courageous, the moment to turn towards the light, to turn away from the human, to turn away from the conditions and turn towards the one with open arms, with an open heart, ready to receive and ready to embrace the divine. That is the sense this day of being absolutely open to whatever comes my way, no matter what. Being open to receive the blessing of whatever today holds, whatever tomorrow holds, whatever this moment holds, whatever the next moment holds, just saying yes to whatever it is that God puts before me, that whatever it is that I am called to do or to be or to experience. And so I feel from deep within that deep and sacred yes, that absolute yes that is exciting, that invigorates the body temple, the cells of my body. I am verily sizzling with that sense of yes, God's great yes. for my life, for the lives that I touch that are in any way being touched by this experience, these words. In fact, I know this truth is happening in the hearts of everyone everywhere. The great stirring of the soul, waking each up to their own spiritual magnificence. And so I know that truth, and I claim for each one that hears these words the same deep knowing that right now the soul is stirring within each and awakening each one of us to our spiritual magnificence. No matter how that might look, no matter where we might be in the world, there is a great and glorious awakening that is happening heartbeat by heartbeat in one person after the next, after the next, and after the next. So, what I know is I know at the center of it all there is God, so it must be good. Beyond the appearances that are happening out there, beyond the souls that are choosing to leave this planet at this time. Yes, there is a great exodus happening. And regardless of the cosmic implications of that exodus, what I know is I know that anyone leaving the planet is moving to a greater level of service, a greater expression of service for humanity, being able to look back and inform humanity. And those that stay and remain are here with a sacred duty, a sacred calling to evolve, to be the place where God shows up, to be the evolution of human consciousness in action. So I am in a place of knowing that it is all good because it is all God. It really could be no other way. I turn away from the conditions and the humanness of it, and I keep my eye focused on the divine. And yes, throughout the day, the cracks in my personal armor appear, and the stories get in, and the sadness gets in, and the sorrow gets in, and then I am reminded to turn to the one, living in both the human and the divine, out into the world as absolutely necessary, and still in the consciousness of wholeness, of oneness. So I am grateful to be witness to this, to be a part of this, to be present to what comes next, but I'm most especially grateful to know that God's in command here, that God's got this. There's nothing more I need to do or say or be or become. I have no one question about how or why or when any of this moves into form. I trust in the absolute knowing that God's got this, and so it is done. All is well. Everything's happening just as it must. I know this truth and I affirm this truth, and I invite each one that hears these words to join me in affirming these truths as we say together, and
And
so
so
it
it
is.
is.
And so it is. Thank you, dear ones. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being with us this evening. Now, do remember there are lots of great ways to keep up the vibration. Daily Spirit Callings is an email blast that you can get in your daily email. It's an affirmation, inspiration, and call to action for your life on a daily basis. And now it's a 90-second podcast, 2 minutes each day, less than 2 minutes each day on all your favorite podcast platforms. And we can't forget New Thought Radio. New Thought Radio, positively inspiring music 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Check it out. I've got new music coming up this week, too, because I just got a whole batch of new stuff from some artists. So check that out. Oh, and I want to share one other little thing real quick. If you haven't heard, I'm doing a meditation. It's a mini meditation retreat, and it's not that it's many small meditations, it's just it's not a full retreat. So it's a 3-hour live Zoom call this weekend, this Saturday. It starts at 8:30 Pacific, 11:30 Eastern. You can register at minimeditation.gr8.com, and the best part is it's on a love offering basis. So if times and money are tight right now, well, don't don't worry about that. Just show up anyway, and we'll be more than happy to let you participate and have a good time and let this be a gift. So other than that, I think we're good to go. Joe, thank you so much for being here this evening.
Thank you, my brother.
I
Did you want to share the link on my page for me?
Oh yes, and I'm sorry, I do that too, and I forgot that. Thank you. So Joe runs a great group on Facebook as well, and the name of it just slipped right out of my head. So tell us a little bit
Raise
about it, Joe.
It's Raise Your Vibe, spiritual growth and guidance. And I teach people how to find their spiritual gifts. And each day I try to do a affirmative prayer to kind of set the mood and space for the group. So I encourage anybody who's trying to find out what their spiritual gifts are, or just be witness to it. It's a great learning opportunity where we do teach people how to find their spiritual gifts.
Beautiful. Cool. Right on. So check out Joe's page and come back out here to this page tomorrow morning, 8:15 Mountain Time. We'll be here with morning prayers. So again, thank you, dear ones. Looks like we're pretty much right on time. I appreciate you being here. Peace and blessings. Have a great evening now.
Much love, friends.